Hello everyone. I welcome to Learning Management System initiated by Department of Collegiate and Technical Education. I am Kavya Shree from Government Polytechnic Mulbagal. In this session, we will be discussing about stones and brick masonry in detail. This is a part of your third semester in construction technology. It is clear that from your syllabus and from the previous question papers, 30 marks are going to get from this unit, which is very, very important. Moving on to the content of this session, we are going to discuss about introduction about stone and brick masonry, technical terms used in stone masonry, technical terms used in brick masonry, and finally, to refresh our learning, we will go through some of the MCQs at the end. Let's dive into the topic, introduction about masonry. Masonry in general sentence, it is a construction of building units. It can be stones, bricks, precast, concrete blocks, etc. bounded together with mortar. Either we can use cement mortar or we can use lime mortar. Next, we'll see types of masonry. Depends upon the building units used in the construction. Masonry can be classified into following categories: stone masonry, brick masonry, hollow concrete block masonry, solid concrete block masonry, and finally composite masonry. First one, stone masonry. Stone blocks laid with cement or lime mortar in a systematic manner, forming a structural mass. Means if stone is used as a building material, then it is known as stone masonry. In this picture, you are seeing stone masonry wall. Next is brick masonry. As I said, brick are used for the construction of masonry wall, then it is known as brick masonry. Next, composite masonry. As name composite defines, it is more than one material, which means composite masonry is that in which more than one material is used. We can use brick and stone, or we can use stone and concrete, etc. Next, concrete block masonry. If the wall constructed by using precast hollow blocks, then it is known as hollow concrete block masonry. If we use solid concrete block in place of hollow concrete block, then it is known as solid concrete block masonry. I think in this picture it is clear. See, in this first picture, you are seeing hollow concrete block masonry, which is widely used in the construction. Either it is hollow concrete block masonry or solid concrete block. It is majorly used construction units nowadays. Next topic is technical terms used in stone masonry and brick masonry. These are some of the common terms used in the masonry. Let us see one by one. Initially, I'm starting with terms used in stone masonry. First term is natural bed. Basic term, the original bed or a plane occupied by a stone during its formation. In this plane of division along which the stones can easily be split. In this picture, you're observing how stones are laid. The stone should be always placed that the load line is at right angles to the natural bed. Here you can see this is the facing of the stone and this is the load line. It should be always right angles to the natural bed. Next term is bed. It is the natural bottom surface of the stone or brick is known as bed. Next definition is bedding plane. The plane along which the stones can separate it into different layers. It is known as bedding plane. The picture explaining the facing and backing of the stone masonry. The exterior of a wall exposed to the weather is called face, and the material used in the face is known as facing. Same way, the wall which is not exposed to the weather is called back, and the material used for the back of the wall is called backing. Next, we'll see hearting. As I have already explained backing, then we'll move on to the hearting. The internal portion, see in this picture, the internal portion between the facing and backing is known as hearting. In this picture, you're seeing the exterior face of the wall is known as facing, and the back side of the wall is known as backing. The space between facing, the space between the facing and the backing is known as hearting, which is usually filled by the stone chips. Next, we'll see through stone or bond stone. The stone extending from face to back are provided at regular intervals to increase the lateral stability of the wall is known as through stones. In this picture, you can observe, say this is a single stone which is extending from facing to backing. This increases the bonding capacity between the facing and backing. Next, move on to the corbel. The projecting stone usually provided to serve as a support for the roof truss, beam, and the weather shade. Usually, this you can observe in public buildings and residential buildings, and it is generally molded and given ornamental treatment. Usually, public buildings ಅಲ್ಲಿ stone construction ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ corbel for architectural purpose. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಇದನ್ನ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆನೂ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ಕಾರ್ನಿಸ್. The course of a stone provided at the top of a wall is called cornice. It is usually provided at the junction of the wall and the roof. Either it can be inside of the building or it can be outside of the building. The cornice is generally molded and given ornamental treatment. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಾರ್ನಿಸ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ರೈನ್ ವಾಟರ್. Usually exterior of the building. I'll show one more picture in the next slide. See in this picture you can observe cornice. See exterior of the wall. You can observe cornice here. Okay. Below the cornice there is one more course of a stone which is immediately below the cornice is known as frieze. If the course of a stone provided immediately above the cornice, then it is known as blocking course. Why we provide blocking course? Usually to prevent the cornice from overturning. It is usually known as blocking course. Next, we'll move on to parapet. Parapet, you already know the concept of parapet because in building drawing, you have already studied. It's a low wall constructed around the terrace of a building. It is just a protecting fence from person falling down. Is called parapet wall. See, this is a parapet wall. The picture showing the cross section of the wall. See, this is plinth. It is a course provided at the ground level. And the sill, it is the bottom surface of a door or window opening. Here you are seeing parapet, and above the parapet in some of the buildings, usually they will provide it with coping. Coping is a protective layer which is provided on the parapet wall or a boundary wall to drain off the rainwater. Next, plinth. I already explained. A plinth is a horizontal projecting course at ground level forms the base of the superstructure. The topmost course of the plinth masonry is called the plinth course. It protects the interior of a building from the rainwater and the frost. See, here is the plinth level. It is provided at the ground level. It is a base course of the building. Above this, we can provide flooring and concrete works. Next term is sill. It is the bottom surface of a door or window opening, and it prevents the entry of rainwater to the interior of a building. Next term is reveals. This picture explains you what is sill, what is reveal, and what is jamb. If you are standing in the front of any building and looking at the window, you're observing the vertical surfaces of the window. If the vertical surfaces of the wall on the outside of an opening of a door or a window frame, then it is known as reveals. If the vertical sides of a door or window openings provided at the inside of the building, then it is known as jambs. This is the only difference. If the vertical surfaces of the window from the exterior side, then it is known as reveals. If the vertical surfaces of a door or window from the inside, then it is known as jambs. The main function of a reveal is to protect the frame from damage and to keep the privacy of the room. Next term is coping. It is the top of a parapet wall or a boundary wall is finished with a special course to protect it from the rainwater. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಾ ಇದನ್ನ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಪೆಟ್ ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ or decorative purpose ಆಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, and the main purpose is to drain off the rainwater and to prevent the entry of the water inside this wall. Next term is weathering. It is the plain top surface of a coping inclined to the horizontal to throw off the rainwater. Coping ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Coping ಅಂದ್ರೆ it is a protecting layer. Again, protecting layer ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು inclined plain top surface ಇದೆ, this is known as weathering. And here is one of the groove. So you can observe here, the groove is provided underside of the coping is known as throating. See, it is the groove made on the under surface of a coping or a sill so as to keep off seepage water from surface of a wall is known as throating. Next term is string course. It is the horizontal projecting course of a masonry provided between the plinth and the cornice. It protects the wall from the rainwater. Next, we'll see lacing course. The horizontal course provided to strengthen the wall of a irregular small stones is called lacing course. Example, see in this picture, it is clear. They're using larger stones on either side of the wall. See, this is a lacing course, outer surface of a wall. Okay, they are constructing with a larger stone on either side. Again, the space between these stones, the two blocks, is known as voids. Those voids, they are packing with a small stone chips. That is called spalls. Spalls is nothing but the stone chips used for the packing up and filling the voids of stone masonry is called as spalls. Moving on to buttress. This is the last term in stone masonry, that is buttress. Buttress is a sloping or step in masonry projection from a tall wall on the exterior of a wall, which are placed at intervals along the wall to carry load. See in this picture, you're observing there is one tall wall. These walls are supported by the inclined or sloped wall, which are provided at regular intervals. These sloped or inclined walls which is provided to support the main tall wall to carry load, then it is known as buttress. Next, we'll see some of the terms which is used in brick masonry. Bond. See, bond, it is a common term used for stone masonry, or we can use it in brick masonry. It is nothing but the arrangements of the stone or brick to overlap each other in such a manner that no continuous vertical joints occur either on the face or inside of the wall is called as the bond. Masonry wall ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ continuous vertical joints ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಾರದು. See, joint is a weaker section in the bond, correct? So if load is applied on the joint which is parallel to the load line, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ weaker section ಅಲ್ಲಿ if you take two units and you're joining it, okay, ಮೇಲಿಂದ load apply ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ vertically and ಅದು parallel to your vertical line ಅಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, that can be split, correct? The vertical joint should not come in a single line. Anywhere it may be, like face ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು or inside of the wall section ಆದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. The horizontal layer of a stone or a brick of wall is called course. ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಆರ್ ಈಚ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಏನು ನೀವು ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಆರ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ದ ಲೇಯರ್, ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಲೇಯರ್, it is called course. The lower surface, let me explain. See, the lower surface of a brick or stone on which they rest in a course is known as bed. Brick na consider ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ lower surface ಏನಿದೆ, the bottom surface of the brick or stone, it is known as bed. Then perpends, say joint. First let us see joint. The junction of two or more stone or brick in a wall is known as joint. See, there is one brick, there is another brick. The junction between two brick is known as joint. If there are two types of joints, same, you can observe here one brick another brick ge ಏನ್ join ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, even that is called joint. I mean, in this picture it is clear we are getting two types of joints. The joints between successive courses, I have already explained, course is a horizontal layer. So one horizontal layer and another horizontal layer, if they are meeting at a point, okay, first horizontal layer and next horizontal layer meeting at a point, then this is called horizontal or bed joints. Horizontal joints between successive courses, it is known as horizontal or bed joints. If the joints between various units in a course, means say one brick is joining to another brick, then it is a joint. One brick is joining another brick, then again it is a joint. Means the joints between various units in a course. So if you take this as a course, if you take this as a course, I'm talking about lowest layer of this brick masonry. See, the joint between two units in a course is known as vertical joints. This vertical joint should always be perpendicular to the horizontal joints. This is about joints. The imaginary line of a vertical joints in a masonry, then it is known as perpends. See, vertical joints and it is a joint between two units, then it is known as vertical joint. Continuously, if you take a wall, ಒಂದು ವಾಲ್ ನೀವು ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಮೇಸನ್ರಿ. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮೇಸನ್ರಿ ವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು there will be some vertical joints at alternate courses ಅಲ್ಲಿ vertical joints ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, it is just an imaginary line of vertical joints, then it is known as perpends. Okay, let me erase this. Okay, I hope you all understood the concept. The stone which lies with its longest side parallel to the face of the wall, then it is known as stretcher. The stone which lies with its longest side which are perpendicular to the face of the wall, then is known as header. If you take a unit of a brick, let's see in next picture. Let me show you in detail. These are the other terms which I have already explained: course, bed, perpends. See, stretcher. If you take a single unit of a brick, here you can clearly observe what is stretcher and what is header. So if you take one brick, the longest side is known as stretcher, and the shortest side of a brick is known as header. If the longest side of a brick which is placed parallel to the face of the wall, then it is known as stretcher. If the brick is laid with its longest side perpendicular to the face of the wall, that means header, which is also known as the shortest length or width. Sorry, the shortest width of a brick is known as header. I hope it is clear now. And here one more definition. See here you can see frog. See in brick, ಕಾಮನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್ ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಲೆಟರಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟಿಂಗ್ಸ್, MKV ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ನೇಮಿಂಗ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ. ನೀವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಆನ್ ದ ಟಾಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ನೇಮಿಂಗ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್. Okay, it is known as frog. Okay, see, it is known as frog. It is a depression on the top face of a brick is known as frog. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ವೈ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನೆಸೆಸರಿ? ಸೇ ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅ ಮಾರ್ಟರ್, ವೆನ್ ಯು ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಅ ಮಾರ್ಟರ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್, ಇಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ನೀವು ಒನ್ ಮೋರ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ it will always prevents the displacements of the brick. That's why we will provide frog. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿನ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ we will provide frog. Moving on to the next slide. Frog we have studied and joint we have seen. Next topic is quoins. See in this picture, you're observing the corner, exactly the corner of a wall. See, ಎರಡು wall meet ಆಗ್ತದ. The external corner of an angle of a wall surface is known as quoins. Clean angle ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತದೆ, exactly the corner of a wall, okay, is known as quoins. And the stone forming the quoin is known as quoin stone. Next, closure. See, this closure comes under terms of brick masonry. From here, we will see the terms of brick masonry in detail. See, if you take a brick, in this picture you are observing, see, this shows the first picture shows a full brick, normal brick. If you take a closer any closure. The term closure means it is a portion of a brick cut in such a manner that its one long faces remains uncut. Queen closure. If you take a brick and you're going to cut lengthwise, you're going to cut lengthwise, then it is known as queen closure. Here we are seeing some kind of brick. I'm just giving you an example. See, if you consider this as a brick, okay, this longer side what we have is stretcher, and the width of a brick is known as header. Here you're seeing, assume this is a brick, okay. These are the, queen closure are the half bricks lengthwise, cut lengthwise, okay, is known as queen closure. Next term, let's say king closure. See, king closure. In king closure, these are the portion of a brick obtained by cutting off the triangular piece between the center of one end, the center of one end, and the center of one side. So assume this is a side of the bricks. There are two sides of the brick. So this is one side and this is another side. And these two are the ends. Okay, ends of the brick. If you take this as a brick, if bricks is cut lengthwise, then it is known as queen closure. And if you're going to cut the brick as a triangular piece between the center of one end, and center of the one side, means this corner portion. In this picture you are observing, see, it is clear. Exactly the corner triangular portion cut madadre, then it is known as king closure. Then we will see beveled closure. The portion of a brick in which the whole length of a brick is beveled, okay, complete length is beveled for maintaining the half width at one end and full width at the other end. Exactly, you can observe in this picture, one center of one end in the corner of the one end in cut ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ brick na, then it is known as beveled closure. Then here you are observing mitred closure. See, it is a brick whose one end is cut, splayed or metered for the full width, then is known as metered closure. I hope you understand the concepts of closure. Next, let's move further. Bat. See, bat is nothing but again, it is the portion of a brick cut across the width, or a brick cut by some fraction of its length, then is known as bat. In this picture you are observing, see, exactly width wise na cut madadre brick na. See, length wise na cut madadre it is called closure, and width wise brick na cut madadre then it is known as bat, brick bat. See, there are brick bat ಅಲ್ಲಿ different types ಇದೆ. See, in picture you are observing half bat, exactly exactly half ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ half bat ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Then 3/4 bat, last 125% brick na ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ brick na, then we will call 3/4 bat. And beveled bat. See, usually ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ನರ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ವಾಲ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒನ್ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ದೆನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್. concepts of this batch. Okay, exactly to place the brick in a proper position, finishing ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ so ಈ closer bat ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Next we will see lap. See, it is the horizontal distance between the vertical joints. See, vertical joints in a successive courses. See, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ನೋಡಿ, ಒನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅನದರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅನದರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಎನಿವೇಸ್ ಐ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್ ಸಿಂಗಲ್ ಲೈನ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೇಯರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸೈಡ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? ಸಾರಿ, ಲೆಟ್ ಮೀ ಶೋ ಯು. ಸಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಅಗೇನ್ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು ಆ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಾಟಮ್ ಲೈನ್, ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಲೈನ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ಲೈನ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್. ಐ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ಡ್. ನೌ the horizontal distance between these vertical joints is known as lap. See here you can observe, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು vertical joint ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು vertical joint ಬಂದಿದೆ. Between the horizontal between these joints is known as lap or half bond. For a good bond, it should be always 1/4 of the length of the brick. Next, we'll see raking back. See, raking back, here also you are seeing raking back. Raking back is nothing but the process of stopping the unfinished end of a wall in a stepped fashion. See, here you can see. Okay, we will finish the wall by giving the steps. Is known as raking back. Okay, let me clear this and move to next slide. Toothing. See, the finish, toothing and raking is nothing but the finishing of the end of the wall. ಯಾವ ತರ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ರೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಡ್ ಫ್ಯಾಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನಿಶ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ ವಾಲ್ ನ. ಟೂಥಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು, ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬ್ರಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಟೋನ್. ದೆನ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಡ್ ವಿತ್ ದಿ by giving tooths. See, tooth shape. Here you can observe here the termination of a wall in such a fashion that each alternate courses at the end projects is known as toothing, and it is adopted to provide the adequate bond. And next construction, ಇವಾಗ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಒನ್ ಸೈಡ್ ಇವಾಗ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಎಂಡ್ ದ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಯೂಶಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಟು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಗುಡ್ ಬಾಂಡ್, ಟೂಥಿಂಗ್ ತರ ಎಂಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ, ದೆನ್ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಈಗ ಕಾಂಪೋಸಿಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ಬಂತು ಆರ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಾಲ್ ನ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಸ್ ದಿ ಬಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಶಲಿ ಫಿನಿಶಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು we can provide either toothing or raking. With this, we are going to end today's session. Now try to solve few MCQ relevant to what we have studied till now. First question. The exposed portion of vertical surface at right angles to the door or window frame are known as. There are 4 choices given. You have to choose the most appropriate one. Let me give you some time. Think over it. Try solving the question. The exposed portion of a vertical surface. I'm stressing it one more time. Exposed portion of a vertical surface of a door or window. Hope you have chosen the right answer. The correct answer for this question is C. Option number C. The correct answer is option number C. Reveals. Okay, jam, it cannot be answered because the interior portion of a vertical surface of a door or window frame is known as jambs. It cannot be the answer. And lintel we are providing above the door level. Correct? It is a structure providing above the door level. Then it is known as lintel. It cannot be our answer. And soffit is also not our right answer. The right answer will be reveals because the definition itself says the exposed portion of a vertical surface. Then we'll moving on to the next question. The alignment of cross joint along the plumb line is, the options are option A, bed block, option B, perpend, option C, lintel, and option D, vertical line. You can try to solve the question. Keep thinking. The alignment of cross joint along the plumb line. Plumb line means it is a vertical line. What might be the answer? Option A, bed block, option B, perpend, option C, lintel, and option D is vertical line. See, the correct answer is option B. It is perpend. We know the definition of a perpend. It is a imaginary line of a vertical joint. That is nothing but along the plumb line. So the correct answer is perpend. Moving on to the next question. Ornamental molded cores placed on the top of wall. I'm repeating the question. Ornamental molded cores placed on the top of wall. Option A, cornice. Option B, coping. Option C, frieze. And option D is lintel. Try to solve the question. It is very easy. Let me give you some time to think. The correct answer is cornice. See, it is a definition of a cornice. Ornamental molded cores placed on the top of the wall. Here is the next question. The exterior angle between outer faces of a wall is known as option A, turn, option B, junction, option C, quoins, and option D, all of the above. The exterior angle between outer faces of a wall is known as. Try to solve the question. It is very easy. Again, it is a definition of one term. They have studied already. Okay, let me not take much time. See, this correct answer is option C, quoins. It is a definition of a quoin, exterior angle between the outer faces of the wall. Next, moving on to the question number 5. A horizontal layer of stone or brick laid in mortar is known as. The horizontal layer of a stone or brick laid in mortar is known as. Option A, course. Option B, stretcher. Option C, header. And option D, closer. Solve it. Again, it is a definition. Horizontal layer of a stone or brick. Okay, let us see one by one. See, option, just I'm explaining now. Option B is stretcher. Stretcher is the longest side of a brick. This cannot be our answer. And option C is header. It is the width of a brick. Again, it cannot be our answer. And option D is closer. Closer means it is a cutting of a brick. Okay, this cannot be our answer. So what is the right answer? See, option A is our right answer. Moving on to the next question. The brick or stone put in position in the masonry such that its length is perpendicular to the face of the wall. The brick or stone put in position in the masonry such that its length is perpendicular to the face of the wall. Dash. Option A, header. Option B, stretcher. Option C, closer. And option D, bullnose. It is very simple question. Try to solve the question as early as possible because just now I have explained the terms. Hope you have already chosen the right answer. That is option A, header. The brick, the length, say here, the length is perpendicular to the face of the wall. Then it is known as header. Next, moving on to the seventh question. The brick or stone which is laid with its length parallel to the face of the wall is called dash. Option A, queen closer. Option B, queen king closer. Option C, stretcher. And option D, header. I hope you have already chosen the right answer. Let me not take too much of time. It is a definition of a stretcher. The correct answer is option C. Okay. See here, I have provided the answer for our MCQs. This may help you. Hope you have enjoyed the session. The information I have shared with you is obtained from these references. If you have time, please go through it. I'm really very grateful to whole LMS team for guiding and supporting me. Let us continue the different types of masonry in the next session. Thank you.